from today. It's price action in the futures market. And we'll take a look at those two trades that I took live during my morning video today. So we'll just jump right in. Futures Brizio here just after 7 p.m. Monday, December 15th. Hope everybody had a fantastic day. Smash that like button, please. Before we get started, subscribe to the channel. Questions, comments, leave them down below. So I don't want to rehash necessarily everything, but during the video this morning, which I'll drop a link to, I took two trades while I was recording the video in soybean oil and soybean meal. I also showed you one that I had taken earlier before I recorded the video in soybeans, which I had already closed out of. And then I took another one in hogs later after I made the first video. Okay, so I took one before, two during, one after, right? If you're keeping score. And, basically 3 out of 4 of them were winners, although, a couple of them were very small. And one was a loser. So let's just go through. So we'll look at the ones that I took during the recording of the second video this morning. And so the first one was right here on soybean oil. And this was basically my entry right here. And I took it because, essentially looked like we were going down. This is soybean meal. Looked like we were going down. We go out to the 4-hour chart. I said on the video this morning, this looked pretty bearish. Although we did put in a higher low right here from Friday. But that's not unusual. We see price action like that all the time. Like, back here on November 24th, we saw a very similar pattern, right? We had a pullback, attempt to go low, a higher low, and then another push up, and then finally a big. So that's kind of what we had. And ultimately, I still think this will go down, but this one was a loser. I took it on this candle entry right here. Now, it was in profit for a short time. Oh, and this is on the 5-minute chart, by the way. We also had the stochastic RSI signal right here, overbought zone, crossing over and going down. Okay, now it did go down, and it was in profit for about, about a half an hour it was in profit, and then it started rallying back, and it just went up the rest of the day. So my stop loss was sitting... my stop loss was actually up here, but I closed it manually down here. I lost one point on it, actually 303. No, actually I did get stopped out. It was right here. So my entry was down here, stopped out right here. Took about a 1-point loss on it. In at 302.4, out at 303.3. So not a huge loss, but it was a loss. And I said during the video, if you watch it, that I don't really like trading, especially, I don't really like trading short time frames now anyways, the way I used to. And the other thing is, because of the time of day, it was, heading towards lunchtime when I made that video. And, again, if you've been watching me for a while, or you trade these markets, these ag markets close pretty early. They have a very limited, U.S. session time frame from about 9:30 a.m. till about 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's about all you get. And so, taking this on the 5-minute chart was probably a little bit risky anyway. So again, I ended up getting stopped out of it, and that's fine. So I'll watch this because I still think that this could potentially turn into a good short at some point. We'll see when. I still have an alert sitting down here just below this swing. So if it does, roll back over and get through here, I'll be notified. Although could happen during the London session, the overnight session, pre-market, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow, in which case I'll miss it. So that's fine, but we'll see. Okay, the other one that I took was a small winner, was soybean oil. And where is it? Okay, there it is. Took a minute for it to populate. Okay, so soybean oil. And again, I exited it right here because I saw it coming into this kind of support area down here. There was some pretty heavy support, and again, because of the time of day, I closed it at I don't know why I cannot click this. Usually when you click on, oh, I got to click the arrow. I closed it at 12:07, so just after noontime. And so there you go. That was the trade. It was a quick little in and out, and I closed it because A, the time of day, and B, just where it was sitting. And again, the entry to that, similar to soybean meal, was based off the stochastic RSI on the 5-minute chart. We had a downtrend in place, and so that's where I got in, and you can see where I got out. So it was a very quick trade, and it was a good thing I did get out of it because price did rally back towards this session high back here. Okay, so that was, or this swing high. This wasn't the session high. The session high was back here. But this little 5-minute swing high right here, price, came off this low and went up and then just went sideways the rest of the day. Again, also, I also stated during that video this morning, one of the other features of these ag markets, although that's not universal, there are some days it will trend the entire day, is normally, you got to make your money or take your loss and get out pretty quick because generally speaking, they kind of have, a couple 3-hour window where they move and then that's it. Again, there are some days where it moves right to the close and, that's great if you're in a good trade. But I would say that's probably more the exception than the rule. So that was soybean oil. So that was the winner and soybean meal was the loser. Those are the two I took during the morning video, which you can go back and watch. I took those live on the session. Okay, and then the other one, I showed you this one this morning. I took it before I made the video, was on soybeans. I got out down here. That turned out to be a good move because you can see we rallied way back up here. Now we did come back to the lows again, but by about looks like about quarter to 12, it bottomed out for the day and then started going up, and we closed back, about halfway up to our early morning highs. All right, so that was soybeans. And then the other one I took was, again, a very quick trade in hogs. You can see the entry exit there. Now, I took this one because, again, on the 4-hour chart, I showed you this morning. I had these kind of swing lows drawn out here. So when I saw this and this big 4-hour rejection here on the 4-hour right here, I thought that was a good place to potentially get in. We also had a crossover here on the stochastic RSI coming back out of the oversold area. So I felt that was a good place to get in. And it was a profitable trade, but very, very little. I mean, it was barely a little bit more than what I probably paid for commission, to be honest with you. And you can see it just didn't do anything. I mean, it just kind of like petered out. And even by about 1 o'clock, it was done trading. And again, it's one of those things where it's just not a good time of day. So we had this real bearish price action early. I looked at it as kind of a liquidity sweep and just, sweep out. Filled in this little gap you can see here on the 30-minute chart, and then started going up. And then it just didn't do anything the rest of the day. So I just decided to close it when I saw, after a couple of little tiny dojis. I mean, it did push a tiny bit higher after that, but, wasn't worth the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. So I have no problem that I got out of it. So I still have this alert sitting here, which I'm just going to delete because it's just kind of in the way at this point. All right. And so that's it. Yeah. So that was hogs. And I do still think this will go up. Again, as long as we hold 4-hour structure, which is sitting here, this zone around the 8240 area. This is kind of what I would consider viable structure on the 4-hour chart. This is a pretty reasonable pullback here. Very similar in scope to these last two, although it didn't take as long. But in terms of just how much ground it covered, it's pretty comparable to what we've seen. So I was comfortable with that. So any break below this 8240 zone or so would potentially shift this more to a bearish stance for me. But so we'll see tomorrow. If we get any kind of continuation here up, maybe we'll get another little push down early, and then, something like that, and then go up and make a new high. Or it could just come right out of the open and go higher too. I don't know. So this market does not have an overnight session. It basically goes from the close right to the open. There is no pre-market or overnight session, whatever you want to call it, unlike the soy complex. Okay, so there will be no price action on this until the market reopens tomorrow at 9:30. Okay, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But again, still looks pretty bullish. It just had no volume after this initial push, and that's going to happen sometimes. So I just want to make a follow up. I said I would make one just based on the 2 trades I took live. Again, I'm going to leave a link to that video, so you can always go and look at it, or it's on the channel. It's the one I made prior to this. Again, just before, I think it was just around 11 o'clock or so this morning. So, all right. So, yeah, that's it, guys. I'm just going to leave it there, I think, for the night. I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be around tomorrow, and then I'm heading out after that on Wednesday. So I'll try to get in here with at least one video tomorrow, and hopefully we get some something to trade. And if not, that's fine too. But we'll at least take a look at where things are at. All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave it there. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Any questions, comments, drop them down below. Hope that was helpful. And I look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Take care. Have a great rest of the night.